Welcome back, computer art students. We are today going to do lesson 10, orange swirls. We're going to use the pen tool and then path to selection. So we're going to go to the desktop, open up our autobiographical poster folder, and go to items and find the orange swirl right here. It's going to open up. It's kind of small, so let's just zoom in on it. Spacebar, command with the left hand, click a couple times. It's going to zoom up here. We'll just scroll this out. And notice on our example, the swirls kind of lay right over here above the building. So we're going to plug those in today. To do that, we're going to use the pen tool. And the pen tool is located on our toolbar right over here. It looks like a calligraphy pen. If we hold down the mouse button onto the button, we have some different options. We have a freeform pen tool, the regular pen tool, add an anchor point, delete an anchor point, and convert point to tool. So we'll see all of these tools, but we're pretty much going to use the pen tool. And you can also type P as in play on the keyboard to activate the pen tool. Now this works a couple different ways. You can, what happens with the pen tool is that it's going to drop what we call anchor points. And these little dots, if I click once, that's going to drop an anchor point. Okay? And then I can click and I can make straight lines if I want to around. Now we're not going to do that because we can't use straight lines. How this is different than kind of Photoshop in general is that this is more of a vector tool in that it's not going to create raster images anymore. You can see that this picture is somewhat pixelated. You can see little dots of color. Those are called pixels. Vector art creates use more mathematics, and it creates points and lines on a grid, and it kind of reads that in a mathematical way to create a shape without rastered pixels, so that you can blow up or decrease the size as big as you want or as small as you want, and you won't lose resolution. Back to the pen tool, we have an anchor point here. A couple things we can do with the anchor point. We can click again and drop another anchor point, and what happens in between is we get a path. And we can bend this path by adding an anchor point. Notice the plus sign next to my pen tool. We can add an anchor point. And notice the little handles. These are called handles. That's going to allow us to bend it to a curve. Now if I hold down the command key on this anchor point, I can now bend it to match the curve. Now from here, I can reactivate this anchor point and go up here. Click again, add another anchor point, hold down command, and bend it. Another thing you can do, notice you're going to have to reactivate this anchor point each time. Another thing you can do is just click and hold the mouse key and bend it without adding an anchor point. That way. And that way you can continue without having to go back to the anchor point each time to match up the curves. Now that one I want to step back and do again. If you hold down the option key, you'll notice a little arrow that comes up onto the anchor. That's going to get rid of this handle. Okay, I needed to do that in order to make a new straight path to apply to get the correct bend. Okay, and just continue to work around. And it's not looking very pretty, so I'm going to go back and hold on option, click on this anchor point, and once again bend it. Kind of getting off a little bit here, but off the track, off the beaten path, but it's okay. Take some practice to get used to. Alright, let's finish off here and then go back. Oops. So now I have a straight line here. I gotta fix that, so I'm gonna just hold on. I'm gonna click once here, hold on command, and bend it. Okay, let's just go back now. I have to reactivate this anchor point by clicking on it. and then we want to go back and continue this swirl. Alright, let's bend that this way, bend that this way. It's okay if it's a little uneven, gives a little bit of flair. So I'm clicking, I'm holding the mouse button down, and I'm dragging it to meet the edge of the curve. And this is going to be good practice for you when you start working with Illustrator. We're going to use the pen tool quite a lot. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here, I'm going to hold on the Option key and click on this anchor point and then finish it off. Notice the circle next to my pen tool is a symbol for an enclosed path. So I'm going to click on that, and there we have our swirl, but now we have to make a selection. I'm going to hold on the Control key and click, and I'm going to go down to Make Selection. Remember, the Control key on a Mac is basically a right click. So remember that. Hold on the Control key, make a selection, new selection, that's okay. And here we have our swirl. Let's drag this off of here like that. We can move this over. With the Move tool, or V on the keyboard as in vacuum, notice what happens to my Move tool. I have a little pair of scissors, and then I don't. Pair of scissors, no pair of scissors. Make sure when you drag this that you want the pair of scissors over hovering over your selection. So I'm going to take it and drag it over to our selection, and there's our little swirl. Looks pretty good. Notice our picture here is a little different. I can't see the top of the building, so I'm going to have to move it above my tree. So let's go to our tree layer. Here's our trees. Let's move it below our yellow house. There we go. Okay. Now let's put our swirls. Hold on the Command key, click on your swirl, or we can find it. There it is, layer 3. Let's label that left swirl. Okay. Move it in place. We can scale it up a little bit. Apple T, scale it up, rotate it. Fit it in place. Double click when you think you have it nice. Let's duplicate this. Hold on the Alt key or the Option key, click on it and drag it over. We're going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and there we go. We can nudge it over using the arrows on the keyboard, and for the most part that looks pretty good. I'm going to do one more quick thing before we go. I'm going to add some interest to this swirl, and I'm going to name this right swirl now. Okay, and I'm going to hold on the Command key on this thumbnail, click off of here, hold on the Command key, select it, and what I'm going to do is add some thickness to my swirl because it's kind of thin. So I'm going to go to Select, Modify, Expand by 5, and let's fill this, Edit Fill. Let's, hold on a second, let's make a new layer. Okay, we're going to fill it in on that layer. Fill it in with a dark orange. Fill it in color. Click OK. Let's fill it in. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, notice how it's in front of our swirl. I'm going to deselect, Apple D, and then move this layer underneath my right swirl. There we go. Gives a little bit more thickness. Okay, kind kind of more, looks more like this one down here. Let's do that again to the left swirl. Hold down the command key, click on the little thumbnail box down here, select modify, expand by 5, edit, fill, should be the same color selected. There's our current color. Click OK. Alright, deselect Apple D and move it underneath. Oh, looks like we goofed. We didn't have the right layer selected. Notice that? Okay, so let's, so we don't get disorganized, let's hold down Shift and click on right swirl and layer 3 and go to layer merge layers or merge layers. There we go. So they're together. Okay, so now if we close the eye down, we can see on our right swirl that they're together. Let's go to our left swirl, make a new layer, select the left swirl again by holding down command, make sure we're on the layer 3, select modify expand again, 5, fill it, color looks okay, deselect Apple D. Now we can move this underneath the left swirl, and there it is. Let's merge these together. Hold on Shift, click on left swirl, Apple E or Command E is the quick command for that, or you can go to layer merge layers, and there they go. That's it for the swirls. Have fun. Good luck.